waiting for Baccarat, and that goes in! Hugo Baccarat gives Flint City a 3-2. Buckley, oh, the ball falls to Buckley. 1-on-1 with Etheridge. What a save!
Little false flag there.
You're good. Hey, Justin, you got me? All right. Sounds good. Oh, yeah, I mean, I can hear it on my side, yeah.
How can that go in? Hugo Baccarat gives Flint City a 3-2. Buckley, oh, the ball falls to Buckley. One-on-one with Etheridge. What a save!
Welcome into the first ever MSN All-State Media Day for girls soccer. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrett.
Ball comes in, a good hit! 1-0. Shot, another save from Etheridge. Rebound, and it goes in the back of the net. The Bulldogs up 1-0. Burzma, but then for Vlasma! 3-0. Stewart Heiss with a shot! Upper 90 and in!
Effectively today here on the Michigan Soccer Network, we are launching our new division of player recruitment videos.
Mario Canoe now finds Stock. Finding Stock's got a left-footed banger. He shoots it, and it's in! The Red Horse equalize! Live look at one of the more historic soccer stadiums in the state of Michigan, in an area where the game of soccer is sacred. Troy Athens High School. We are live on the National Soccer Network. Hello, everybody, and welcome in. Nate Wangler with you as we get you ready for this top 20 matchup between Athens and Grand Blanc here on NSN. We can take a look at both of these teams and how they break down. It has been a great start to the season for one Troy Athens. 8-1-1 on the year right now, 4th in the OAA Red. And of course, we talk about the city of Troy, this game of soccer being sacred. But really, you have to look across the way at the other team in Troy. Troy High School has actually won 2 state championships since that 2000 year where Athens got the job done, but they've been in a position to win multiple state championships since that mark, trying to get back to that point yet again this year. For Athens coming into this game, their last time out took on Rochester, tied in that game 2-2, but before then they had 4 straight wins. Their only loss on the year coming to Bloomfield Hills. That was back on April the 8th in a 2-0 shutout. On the other side for Grand Blanc, 7-2-1 coming into this ball game, 4th in the Saginaw Valley Conference. They beat Mount Pleasant 3-2 their last time out, against 7 wins so far here on the early season, and they've actually been really good as of late. They actually started the year, ironically enough, 0-2, but still in the top 20 because of what they've done since then. Tied with Milford 0-0, and then since that point they have been automatic. 7 straight wins, including that 3-2 win over Mount Pleasant coming into this one here tonight. So this win, really, at the end of the day, could force a lot of movement in that top 25 in Division 1. And of course, the storyline really on both sides. When you look at these two programs, how can they find a way to get over the hump? Troy Athens was the last of these two teams to win a state championship in that 2000 season. But you look really on both sides. A couple of runner-up appearances. 2021 for Athens, they weren't able to finish it. On Grand Blanc on the other side, 04, 15, 17, and 2018 they went. They weren't able to win any of those, but there is a long reputation of them getting to that point. For Grand Blanc, by the way, their head coach, Greg Keller, been there for a long time. I actually got to chat with our very own Dan Stickrett a little bit earlier about his work that he does in the community. They love him over there. And of course, on the other side for Troy Athens, Jason Clark into his 2nd season with this program. Their 5th head coach overall, trying to blaze a new trail for this Athens program. So let's look at our breakdown for this game here today. Subscribe. We'll be talking about this game coming up on Sunday. Again, our ranking show. Catch that every Sunday night on the National Soccer Network. Talking about it next week.
Both teams getting ramped up to go here tonight. Of course, our high school coverage will continue as the season rolls along. Of course, looking at what's ahead for these two teams, obviously a big one here tonight for Athens. It's on the road to Traverse City. Game against Spring Lake coming up on the 3rd at 1 o'clock, and then a 2:30 matchup. So 2 games back-to-back against TC West after that, and then Grand Blanc on the other side. Long home stretch for them. Troy Athens here tonight, then Midland, and then they're back on the road. A long road stretch. Midland, Dow, Petoskey, Lake Orion, Clarkson, and Bay City Western, all on the road. So we'll get our nation's anthem into the mix. Old Glory blistering in the wind on what's been a rainy, overcast, windy day, but we're just about ready for soccer. Sun peeking through, another great rendition of our nation's anthem. We'll get the starting lineups into the mix. Again, a top 20 matchup here between Athens and Grand Blanc. We'll let you listen to those starting lineups, and then we'll get underway here on the National Soccer Network. And with that, we're just about ready to get underway. Welcome back in, everybody. Michigan Soccer Network. We'll see exactly which one of these two teams can stay hot here early in this season. Talked about the winning streak Grand Blanc is on. Of course, on the other side for Athens, yes, they drew in their last game, but haven't lost a game since April the 8th. It's been quite a long amount of time. And again, two programs that at the end of the day will have a realistic chance. One of them out of the Saginaw Valley Conference in Grand Blanc, and of course Athens on the other side out of the OAA Red. Both with a good shot to go all the way. And we'll see how they look against each other here tonight. Nate Wangler with you, solo for this one. Big thanks to everyone joining us again here on the Michigan Soccer Network. It's been too long of an offseason between the high school soccers. Gave you the full comprehensive coverage of the state championship on the boys' side, and now we get to see who climbs the mountain on the women's side of the coin. Of course, last time these two teams met up, it was Grand Blanc that got the better of the matchup, a 1-0 win on the road at Grand Blanc. So there's also that storyline to focus on too. Athens looking to get their get back here tonight. So we take a look at the surroundings here at Athens. As is traditional, and this was something JT and I talked about on our podcast, some of the best food you'll find at any high school venue all over the state as they get ready to enjoy this one tonight. 68 degrees, but guess what? The humidity is back in the building. 80% as we're underway here between the Red Hawks and Grand Blanc. Welcome in, everybody. Michigan Soccer Network. The Red Hawks, predictably, draped in red, going right to left on your screen. Grand Blanc on the other side, going left to right. Athens will retake possession here at their own 20. And that shot up and over the goal. Goal kick coming up. Athens will retake possession here. Ashley Miller in goal for Athens, senior goaltender. Someone that's been a staple for this team, and they got veteran leadership in that position now. DeYonker has it stripped clean. Shelby Hart here hands it off. Goldie will throw it in for Grand Blanc. But we always talk in length on these broadcasts on MSN, how just valuable, invaluable really, that goaltenders can be. It can really make all the difference in the world when you talk about getting to the end of the line and playing for state championships. And that's really the hope for Athens this year with the veteran goaltender. Can really set them up for a lot of success. And of course, a freshman right behind her, Gianna Gellerman. Here's a good ball up ahead. Sent out of bounds. No choice that time for Bilby. Sends it out of bounds, and a throw-in coming up here for Athens as DeYonker will toss it in. Settled down at the 10. Kata looks for an avenue to cross as they work it into the 18. Back out wide, Kata lofts one, far post. A little bit wide of the intended target as it trickles into the corner, and it's sent out of bounds. Possession still with Athens. Not afraid to play the ball over top. Again, young coach wants this team to be aggressive as this one's bent in towards goal and up over top. A goal kick coming up. Here for Bilby in net. But a really good write-up from Dan Stickrat here at the Michigan Soccer Network about Jason Clark when he was hired last February. Actually misspoke a little bit earlier, said 5th in program history. He's actually only the 3rd in program history. But some pretty big shoes to fill nonetheless. Throwing coming up here for Grand Blanc. Good pressure early on from Athens, though. Just 3 minutes in, no score. But he was a 2006 Athens graduate. February the 22nd was the day that he officially signed to join this program. Nearly had another great feed that led to a goal there, but turned over for Grand Blanc, who will try something in transition. It shut off well. Lily Greaves, again, just a freshman here for Athens, manning the middle of the field well, applying pressure, and she has it back on her toe. She inches it back to the 40. But just the third coach in program history is Clark. Boys team started in 1981, girls started in 1983. Again, both of them have made several runs to state championships. And of course, the last one for Athens coming back in 2000. But you only have to go back 4 years to find the last time they've been in that spot, as this one slices its way out of bounds. Throw in here for Grand Blanc, approaching just 5 minutes here in half number one. And a good possession. Ball fed down the sidelines, maybe an opportunity to cross. Weston whiffs one towards that near post. And an easy save, all things told, for Ashley Miller. We were talking about the freshman behind her, Gellerman. Gianna Gellerman, just a freshman. That's not a bad model to follow either. You allow her to grow and develop underneath the senior leadership of someone like Ashley Miller. Now you have someone that could help you for years to come. She might be tested here early in this one, though. This one takes a slow roll out of bounds, and a goal kick coming up for, or rather, looks like it'll be a corner. So a deflection on that one on the way in. Yana Blank will carry it to the corner. Senior leader for the Bobcats, looking to put the first one on the board. Into the heart of the box, headed back her direction and out of bounds. And will lead to a goal kick here. But some pretty big shoes to fill for Tim Storch and Todd Hugh, for Clark. Reminisced about how Athens has a lot of history, and it's really all about the kids and helping them enjoy success and continuing that success that really both of these two guys kind of established here with this program. Of course, his family moved to Troy when he was in middle school. Varsity years on the squad from 03 to 2005, so he knows what it's like to play at this school, and he's talked about the collective pride really from the community, but also you could just say in the OAA Red, really this part of Metro Detroit cares a lot and invests a lot. You can hear that wind kicking around in the background. Numbers here for Troy Athens. That room shut off quickly. They'll handle it here towards the middle of the pitch, looking for a through ball that can't get through, and then a second attempt that's just too strong. Bleeds in towards goal as Bilby picks it up and gets ready to send it away 7 minutes in. And a good ball up ahead here for Grand Blanc. Quickly shut off, though. Excellent transition defense that time. Believe that was Yusuf who cut off the opportunity. Liana Blank handling it far side. Blake, that is. Trying to force pressure on that back line. Playing well out from her goalkeeper position is Bilby. It didn't get enough on that kick. Graves spins to her right and has it sent away. Christine Edmonds stepping in at the last second to send that one away, as it'll be Waldron to pass it back in. Approaching 10 minutes in. Benton towards the middle for a drive there. That's knocked down. Grace Jennings got it with the shoulder. Jennings handling it in the corner, but can't get a clean clear as a header is just wide. Great ball on. Tachi was able to spin it back for a header that's just sprayed wide. Grand Blanc getting away with one that time. Bilby will kick it away. 8:35 in the first half. Out of bounds, it'll be in favor of Athens. Lulu Tachi has been a pest at times, stealing away possessions, nearly set up that last goal. She'll get into the mix as Athens gets ready for maybe a long toss here, approaching 10 minutes. They'll go that way. Back to the top for a drive that's just high. Emily Mendrick, a fastball off the football uprights, and it stays a scoreless tie with 9:43 into the first half. We talked about last time out for Athens, just unable to finish. Took on Rochester in that ball game, 2-2 tie for them. Obviously the schedule only going to get harder. Spring Lake, Traverse City West, both on the road in Traverse City, but then Troy, the big one, that's coming up May the 6th. High expectations for this team, and it's always difficult when you talk about in conference. If just winning the conference itself, I feel like, is the most difficult task. You talk about the OAA Red. Getting deep into the state playoffs is something that they're used to, but making it out of their own conference, that's a separate conversation. Almost stolen away, and it is stolen away by Athens. A chance to send one on, and nobody does. DeYonker was in the mix. Thought that was a through ball, and it's taken away by Grand Blanc, and a sprint ensues the other way. Okada trying to carry it wide, and it's out of bounds. Lost possession. Grand Blanc will throw it back in here just past 11 minutes in. So talked about Grand Blanc right now, 4th in the Saginaw Valley Conference. But it's a close race towards the top. No real room being separated in that conference at all. You could say the same thing about the OAA Red. Right now, 5-1-0 in conference play. Midland is the only team that remains unblemished in the Saginaw Valley. Perfect 6-0-0 to begin the season in conference for them. Aldrin a throw in here for Greaves. And stolen right away. Quinn Goldie looking for a good ball over top. Hear Greg Keller in the background barking out instructions. Again, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, alluded to it, the conversation I had with Dan Stickrad, who is our encyclopedia of sorts when it comes to high school soccer in the state of Michigan. He's a man that knows a thing or two. I feel like he's forgotten more than I've learned. So we do have a substitution. Lily Cavatayo into the game here for Athens. But he was talking about Greg Keller and how long he's been there. I'm sure there is at least a level of frustration with how many times they've made a state championship but have never won it. And of course it starts with getting things where they need to be in the regular season. Taking down an OAA Red team like Troy Athens would be a good first step, the direction they want to go. Been handling it in their own defensive zone for the majority this first half, just 13 minutes in. Oh, great through ball. And it's offsides. DeYonker, a step or two out in front of that back defender. And it hands the ball right back to Grand Blanc. They got away with one. Still no score, just past 13 minutes in. Of course, make sure you follow while you're at it. Inside the Game podcast weekly, weekdays 9 to 10 a.m. on the National Soccer Network. We'll cover all the high school rankings. A couple of episodes ago, we actually talked in length about the OAA Red and just how difficult it is not only to win this conference, but put together a good conference run. Sadie Russell will check in here for Athens, the junior midfielder. Of course, the same thing could be said about the Saginaw Valley Conference. We've seen a lot of changes in those rankings just the first handful of weeks. It's kind of the nice thing. We as media members, we think we know a thing or two, but it's fun to see the actual teams go out and prove us wrong. I'll be the first to admit we aren't always right. A rugby punt here from Paige Bilby. Just had a hard time getting any real opportunities on goal. Athens has been solid, forcing the issue offensively, and they do so here again. Just past 15 minutes in. No one bleeds through. Easy save here for Ashley Miller. Of course, we were mentioning the weather situation a little bit earlier. If you're on this side, rain poured through a little bit earlier this morning. I know the east side dealt with some of that. Just little pockets making their way through the state of Michigan. Foul committed here. Free kick coming up for Grand Blanc. And maybe a real opportunity to play a ball over top into the mix here. Fortunately, been able to skate around some of the real bad stuff. The Lake doing what the Lake does. Breaks it up from time to time. Over top it goes. One that bounces right into the hands of Ashley Miller. The assistants for Grand Blanc, Danielle Beauregard, Allie Childers. As Goldie retreats. Sends that one out. Playing back on their heels early in this first half. It's been Shelby Hart. She's been trying to deal with some of this mess as she clears this one back towards the 40. Taken right back by Athens. Ashley Thornton trying it. From about 30 plus out. Sprays it wide and a goal kick coming up. On the other side for Athens, though, Emily Dove will take a step onto the pitch. Franco Mancini, Maria Mendola. Assistance for Athens. Look at him wrestle away possession. Hart got a piece of it. Stays with Athens for a drive that's just high again. Off the football uprights, nearly a couple in the upper quadrant.
Checking into the game for the Red Hawks, number 3, Lulu Thatchy, and number 9, Lily Greaves. For the Bobcats, number 5, Lauren Lee.
A few new bodies into the game. Bilby will kick it away. That's a pair for Athens that have nearly hit the back of the net. that's played wide and out of bounds. Throwing coming up here for Grand Blanc. Of course, for Grand Blanc, they had a really dominant stretch. Offensive explosion back at the tail end of April, middle of April to the end of April. Put up 24 goals, unanswered goals, between Flint, Carman, Ainsworth, Saginaw Heritage, and Bay City Central. Physical play starting to pick up a little bit. Out of bounds and a throw in here for Troy Athens as we approach halfway in to this first half. Nearly 20 minutes gone. So I don't think there's any question as to what this offense can accomplish for Grand Blanc. Just can't find any openings right now against this Athens team. Athens has had a tough start. Not a tough start to conference schedule, but I should say competitive. 2 wins in conference play. Playing with it wide of the 18 as they're able to center it. Maybe a chance for a one-time drive, but intervening is Quinn Goldie again. Knuckles it out to center field. Now past that 20-minute plateau, 2017 into this first half. Abby Waldron breaking out the fancy footwork and then a collision at the 25. That will set up a set piece and a nice one at that here for Grand Blanc. I'm sure Greg Keller would tell you the same exact thing. You just look for opportunities like this. Ball on and high. Through the uprights, which I still think should count for something. That was a boot. Put it right down the middle. Ashley Miller puts a boot into it. Grand Blanc playing it wide. Dub. Spins out of bounds. Ball back to Miller here in goal. Of course, in the OAA red right now. Stan's talking about that earlier. It's actually Bloomfield Hills in first place, 8-0-2 in conference, then Rochester, Troy, and then Troy Athens right behind them. So if they're able to win a couple of very winnable games up in Traverse City, that might set them up in a really good position to enter into that top 3. It's a middle part of the season that's going to be very important for this squad. Trying to play another through ball, and this one a worm burner all the way into the hands of one Paige Bilby. Rochester Adams got the best of Troy Athens in their meeting, ranked behind them. Got the best of Grand Blanc, that is, not Troy Athens. Right behind Athens in the standings. Now a late whistle. Give the ball back to Athens about 25 minutes in, nearly entering our last 15. Grand Blanc on the other end. That Saginaw Valley Conference is just massive. 12 different teams all in one. So the fact that they're in the top 4 is actually a pretty good place to be. Top 3rd could certainly help out their spot with a win here today, as both of these two teams just trying to figure each other out. You're nearly 24 minutes in. It'll be Bilby to kick it away yet again. She's been active in this first half. Ooh. Little face ball. Athens has controlled the majority of the possession here in the first half. Just nearly put a couple of bangers in, trying to solve the Rubik's Cube. Tachi turned away. Right back to her at the 30. Ooh, good touch. Up ahead, great through ball. And another offsides called. Ooh, that was close. Emily Mendrick served it up on a silver platter, but they were just a step too far. Second time Athens has been burned on an offsides, and it stays a scoreless tie 26 minutes in. Bilby to boot it. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at some of our stats and figures. Right now, Athens controlling the majority of the possession. Not to say Grand Blanc hasn't had opportunities.
Number 13, Haley Heiss, and number 21, Ava Valdiga. And for the Red Hawks, number 2, Charlotte Kata, and number 6, Lauren DeYonker.
Both sides will make a pair of changes. Of course, possession doesn't matter for much. It has to be possession with purpose, and Grand Blanc has done a good job in the games they've won of battening down the hatches. Right now have 5 shutouts on the season. And they work themselves a corner. Here we're nearly 27 minutes into this first half. Yana Blake. Blasted into the mix and snared. Ashley Miller playing tall. Gloves are plenty sticky. Pulls that in. This past 27 minutes, she'll put a boot into it. Length, the athleticism, everything from that perspective when it comes to Ashley Miller is where it needs to be. That is something you got to get excited about if you're Athens, what you can maybe accomplish this season. Made it all the way to a district final last year and fell to the aforementioned Troy. 4-1 in that game, but along with all the offensive weapons, she could help solve that. Look at this ball. No offsides called. Opportunity on goal, and it sneaks through. Lauren Harper, the freshie, delivers Athens a fresh lead here in the first half. It's 1-0, 28 minutes in. And the ball has been moving like water for the Red Hawks in this first half, and finally it works out. in their favor. Harper, a perfect break at the perfect time, and after they got burned on 2 different offsides, an immaculate connection there to get the goal. 1-0 Athens. And Emily Mendrick on the assist on that last goal. Again, in the game of soccer, sometimes the pass is a little bit more important than the goal. I'd say both were equally important on that transaction. Tachi with room. Operates wide of the 18. Hart forcing the issue, and it bleeds out of bounds. Back to Grand Blanc. Good pressure by Hart to win that ball back, trying to weather that early offensive push by Athens. That's a scary prospect to see, though, when you have a freshman out in front making moves like that, the way Lauren Harper did. We've seen a lot of that from their boys programs, too. I know in covering Troy, Athens, a lot of the teams in this conference, you'll see that sometimes. You'll see a sprinkling of freshmen that are really making an impact. Of course, she's one of them, too. Another opportunity to play the ball towards the middle. They do for a drive that's deflected. DeYonker tried working it back to the right but couldn't feed it through. Taken right back by Melanie Wilson, but Hart turns it away atop the 18. The counterattack has not been there for Grand Blanc. This one's out of bounds. Athens will throw it in. We're in the final 10 here in this first half. Well, it certainly looked like a handball, but they'll let it continue play. Guess it doesn't really affect the flow of the game. They'll continue. Here the fans just beneath us, not happy with that result. What a physical play that time by Mendrick, establishing position and then an offsides called. Tachi. Maybe cherry picking a little bit. Back to Grand Blanc. The other side for Grand Blanc got bounced out of the district semifinals 3-2 by Davison just a season ago. Finished a little bit further than fourth down the standings, but again, got a lot of veteran leadership returning. Athens has given them fits here early on. Excellent ball played out wide. A race ensues there, and it will be a goal kick. Tachi, who's been trying to set this team up out wide, couldn't quite get there.
Number 11, Anna Weston, and number 24, Christine Edmonds. For the Red Hawks, number 14, Farida Youssef.
Another slew of substitutions and a goal kick here for Bilby. As we approach the final 7 minutes of this first half, just one goal. Lauren Harper off the feed from Emily Mendrick. The freshman off the feed from the senior. Now a great ball played in the middle. Red jersey's there. Tachi, ooh, a swing and a miss. but taken right back. They try to set someone up in the middle again, and it's turned away. Farah Youssef couldn't fit it through the wall of white jerseys. Throw in for the Bobcats. Just past 33 minutes in. Tachi again. Touch to the middle. Just stifling with the way they're able to wrestle these balls back. Mendrick tried to put it through a couple of bodies back to Tachi, but Grand Blanc turns it over. You can hear the reaction from the fans here. Just refreshing to see him get it across the 50. Headed back to that area. Of course, give them credit. They have stood tall defensively. Just a one-goal game is nothing to worry about. Athens looking well-conditioned, though, here in the first half. Throw-in coming up for Charlotte Cotta. Here at this beautiful facility at Athens High School. It's played host, multiple playoff games, football side of things, and again, a food experience better than any other in the state of Michigan. Out of bounds throw-in coming up for Athens, about 5 minutes to go in this first half. Of course, the last time I was there, I think it was about 17 degrees, and wind chill felt like negative something, and wind was blowing around, so I was more concerned about the hot chocolate than anything else they were offering that day. But yeah, good stuff. Good group of people that come out. They make all the food every single time. Of course, big thank you to all of us joining us here on the broadcast. But if you ever get the opportunity to go in person, please, by all means, do so. Out of bounds and a throw-in here for Grand Blanc. About 5 minutes to go in this first half. Athens, the through ball. Maybe just a touch too strong. A goal kick upcoming here for Bilby. These late breaks, they're giving them fits.
Also at this time, all Athens soccer alumni should make their way over to the stadium gate near the track closest to the high school for the halftime photo.
One 1-0 lead for Athens here on Alumni Day. Troy Athens High School. Just heard the announcement from our public address announcer. Going to honor some of those alums during halftime. Talked about, obviously, the remarks from head coach Jason Clark when he accepted the job. Of course, he's an alum himself, not of the women's soccer team, but you get my point. Hart clears it out of bounds, throwing here for Athens with about 3 minutes to go in this first half. But whenever there's a deep history of making runs and being in successful positions, your alumni network only continues to grow and grow, and it's a strong one here at Athens, as they're looking to add one more before half. One that's trying to be filtered through, but sent away. I believe that was Mendrick who tried to fight it back, but couldn't put it on. This will slowly roll out of bounds, and Bilby will send it away. But to any alums who are watching the game here today, even if you went and you didn't play soccer, big welcome to all you on the Athens side as well as the Grand Blanc side. Hanging out with us here today on the Michigan Soccer Network. Perfect day for a top 20 matchup here in Division I. Tracking this one down, Weston, and sends it wide. Ashley Miller watches it soar out of bounds, encroaching on just 2 minutes left to go in the first half. like Miller's kit too. It's got like the neon going on. Always fascinated by what goalies decide to go with. She'll saucer this one out past the 50. Had Grand Blanc on the ropes a couple of times. Talked about the importance of weathering the storm, haven't allowed them to completely get away with it. About a minute and a half to go, trailing by 1. Ooh, wrestling it back. And then saved. Anna Weston was right there. Didn't get enough on it. And a roll of the eyes, she thought she missed an opportunity. No offsides called, and she almost had it. Weston, the senior forward, one of her offensive keys for Grand Blanc. That will be a connection they'll look for a lot in this game.
Remaining in the first half, 1 minute.
Oh, and here we go again. It's time it's Heiss. To her right. Tries to slide one back to the middle, but out of bounds. Miller plays it out as those final seconds wear away.
3, 2, 1.
And that'll put a cap here on half number 1. The only goal making the difference right now, Lauren Harper off the feed from Emily Mendrick, the senior to the freshman. It's top 10 Troy Athens carries the 1-0 lead on Alumni Day into halftime. We'll take a step aside, bring you back for half number 2. 1-0, the Red Hawks soaring in front here on the Michigan Soccer Network.
In our online world, we have access to endless communication channels. But despite our online connections, one dynamic will always separate the value in a phone call from an email, and that's relationship. Growing businesses and customer relationships live and die by the phone system, and an enterprise phone solution is the key to bridging the communication gap between you and your customers. At Spectrum VoIP, we exist to make sure your communication is seamless, consistent, and reliable. With simple pricing and reliable support, we dramatically reduce your telecommunication expenses. We come to you to install, train, and onboard your team, and our 24/7 support team is always available to help. Our interactive web portal has endless features that include the real-time data you need, the ability to record, download, and re-listen to phone calls, and sending SMS text messages straight from your computer. And the best part is that all of this is available in the palm of your hand. Since reliability is one of your top priorities, we make it one of ours. So what makes us different? We don't just connect your phones. We power your connection with your customers, your team, and your next level as a business.
Whether you're a beginner coach or a seasoned professional, one thing remains the same: the passion to teach and inspire the next generation of players. Now imagine a place where you could share your coaching knowledge, connect with others, and create a lasting impact. Welcome to the ultimate coaching community, where coaches from all levels can create and share their own courses. Whether you have years of experience or you're just getting started, this is your chance to make your voice heard. Create your own personalized courses, share drills, strategies, and tips, and watch as your knowledge reaches coaches from all corners of the soccer world. With a platform designed for sharing, learning, and growing, you're not just teaching the game, you're creating a community of like-minded coaches, all striving to be the best they can be. Together, we'll elevate the game and support one another to be better, stronger coaches.
Looks great. Oh.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
In our online world, we have access to endless communication channels. But despite our online connections, one dynamic will always separate the value in a phone call from an email, and that's relationship. Growing businesses and customer relationships live and die by the phone system, and an enterprise phone solution is the key to bridging the communication gap between you and your customers. At Spectrum VoIP, we exist to make sure your communication is seamless, consistent, and reliable. With simple pricing and reliable support, we dramatically reduce your telecommunication expenses. We come to you to install, train, and onboard your team, and our 24/7 support team is always available to help. Our interactive web portal has endless features that include the real-time data you need, the ability to record, download, and re-listen to phone calls, and sending SMS text messages straight from your computer. And the best part is that all of this is available in the palm of your hand. Since reliability is one of your top priorities, we make it one of ours. So what makes us different? We don't just connect your phones. We power your connection with your customers, your team, and your next level as a business.
Whether you're a beginner coach or a seasoned professional, one thing remains the same: the passion to teach and inspire the next generation of players. Now imagine a place where you could share your coaching knowledge, connect with others, and create a lasting impact. Welcome to the ultimate coaching community, where coaches from all levels can create and share their own courses. Whether you have years of experience or you're just getting started, this is your chance to make your voice.
And a warm welcome back in. Just about ready to get going here in half number 2 between Athens and Grand Blanc. Welcome back in. Nate Wangler with you as we get this second half started. Just one goal in that first half. It was the freshman making the difference. For Athens, Lauren Harper off the feed from Emily Mendrick. As they immediately start their offensive into the Grand Blanc zone. It is a throw-in for the team in white here to begin half number 2 from Troy Athens High School on Alumni Day here for the Red Hawks. Got to honor some of those alums during halftime. As you heard announced a little bit earlier. Now the Red Hawks trying to make good on it. Snag a victory here today. Did a great job handling possession in that first half. We chatted about that a little bit towards the end of that first half. Just really dominated possession, flow of play, handling the ball well. Trying to keep that a consistent theme. Turnover here to the Bobcats. Of course, they had a few open opportunities. Let's not forget Anna Weston, who was able to rip her way free. Didn't get enough on her shot, tried to sneak it past Miller, who was having none of that. Fielded it right at her feet as she sends this one our direction. But all in all, right now, Athens, the edge in terms of shots on goal. Corner kick up coming here for Grand Blanc. Good way to get back into it. They look to strike quickly. Begin this half. Again, a big welcome to everybody joining us here on the Michigan Soccer Network. Lofted on by Blake. Body's there, but the header deflected wide. Had a white jersey, a couple of white jerseys crossing in the middle. Didn't get the deflection they liked. This one served out of bounds by Athens, and a throw-in upcoming here for the Bobcats. Set piece. Oh, good ball at the 20. Frees up Athens for a drive and a save. Bilby. Fortunately, didn't have to move much for that one. Little bunny hop pulls it in, and she'll get ready to send it away. But the quick touch possessions have been deadly for Athens. It's like ping pong, the way it's moving in between the different chess pieces here tonight. Good takeaway at midfield. Christine Edmonds. As they filter it wide for Heiss, who will look to hoist. Instead drops it off for one that's sent out of bounds. Corner kick upcoming here for the Bobcats. So 2 quick corners here in the second half, under 5 minutes in. The lean on Blake. Direct one in front. He's been the set piece specialist. Towards the top of the box. Headed out north of the 18. They struggle to regain possession, and then a long drive up and over top of everything. Miller will get it back in net. Miller to settle it down about 5 minutes in. Athens, 3 shutouts this year, most recent one coming against Grosse Ile. Back on April the 17th. About halfway through the season at this point. Oh, another great ball over top with the left, saved by Bilby, but it's still loose. Lily Greaves almost put that one through. They still have possession at the 25. Trying to win the race. Abby Waldron at the last second sends it out wide. It will result in a throw-in. Heiss just allowing that one to bleed out of bounds. Give Grand Blanc an opportunity for a deep throw just past 5 minutes into the second half. They'll go the short route. Lauren Lee couldn't corral it, so they're forced to retreat. And an offside's called. Good turnout to this game here down beneath us. A lot of familiar faces to this Troy Athens program. Got an alumni network we talked about that has really helped feed this school. Certainly a program that likes employing their own and seeing them go out and have success, as has been the case for one Jason Clark. Annie Lawson, taken away by Heiss, centers it, shot there, and it's wide. Oh, Anna Weston, off the feed from Heiss, nearly found the back of the net, but Miller upends her and it knuckles a little bit wide. Athens hold on to that 1-0 lead. And you can finally see that counterattack maybe materializing a little bit more. Miller puts a boot into it nearly 10 minutes into half number 2. Of course, both sides been pretty fluent in the amount of substitutions they're making. Athens been shifting new bodies on left and right. And of course, it's a program that I'm sure a lot of other players who have faced this team could probably tell you they'll beat you with their depth. Maybe waiting for a perfect opportunity here late in this game for one of those counterattacks to finally come to fruition. They handle the ball in the middle of the pitch here. Blake tried to put one through the heart. Taken away by the team in red. Tachi beats the defender, centers it, ball there, and Bilby surrounds it. Shelby Hart in the heart of that 18, doing just enough to get a favorable deflection as Bilby corrals. And then a good ball by Bilby up ahead. Heist. Ooh, couldn't settle it down. Went too fast. Blew a tire. Maybe starting to sense a little bit of momentum here for the Bobcats. Turning defense into offense. Athens trying to give it right back. Great through ball, but Bilby too quick. So we eclipse 10 minutes into half number 2, and then an offsides called. A pretty comfortable one there. Haley Heist not quite able to get back on sides, and Athens will retake possession 50-23 in. Saw Athens got burned with 2 of those in the first half. Looked like 2 prime goal-scoring opportunities wiped away because of offsides. Eventually on the 3rd try, they were able to get the job done. Seeing if maybe Heist can get a better feel for when to break on those balls. Get the Bobcats right back into it, but so far so good. I thought they've hung well. Just have to figure out a way to solve the back line issue. See what they did for halftime adjustments. Miller there to send it away from another charging Heist. And the persistence with just trying to find her up ahead to set something up is what's really throwing off Athens. Almost an overly aggressive attack with how they just want to play the deep ball and ever chase after it. She's almost broken through. This one just keeps on rolling. It's like the can of, what is that, Campbell's chicken noodle soup. It's going to keep rolling. It's going to end up in someone's living room. 3 blocks away from the stadium. I'm just having fun. Hart. Just past 12 minutes into the second half. I'm pretty sure that's Campbell's. Now I got to look it up. Ooh. Whistle stops play for a second. Looked like Athens player got the wind knocked out of her. Melanie Wilson just took one right to the rib cage. Bent over there for a second. Hand on hip, she'll be okay. Set piece upcoming here for Athens. You heard some of the fans calling for a handball there. Certainly looked like it at first, but if you're not assisting the ball, I've seen that a couple of times here today. They've let it go. And a hard tackle that time that results in a whistle. Grand Blanc win the ball back here. Melanie Wilson trying to cycle it away. Miana Blake. Who has been trying to work this team into good spots as the set piece specialist for this squad. Fits it down the right sidelines. And a good deflection off the leg of Quinn Goldie. I believe that was Tachi intervening. About 15 minutes into the second half, about a third of the way through.
Substitute for the Red Hawks is number 14, Farida Youssef.
So Youssef back into the game for Athens. Haven't heard many substitutions here in the second half for the Bobcats on the other side. Hard foul, trying to win that one back. Gives it back to Abby Waldron. Whistles it into the box. Bilby there. Give her credit. She's had to step up and make some tough saves. Athens, some fairly favorable deflections in that first half. Didn't end up coming back to haunt Grand Blanc. A lot of that due to the work that Bilby has been able to do in goal tonight. Hart and Tachi. And they'll call it an offsides. Of course, Grand Blanc's last game coming yesterday. This team probably a little tired on the legs here today. It's a hard-fought game. Won that one 3-2. Trying to find what ounce of energy they have left to go out and maybe get the equalizer in this one. Even a draw against a top 10 team like Athens would show this team, the Bobcats, compete with anybody. Of course, for someone like Greg Keller, understands uniquely how much these matchups mean, and so does Athens. Bilby, oh! Tried to clear the ball and instead took out the man. She'll be assessed a yellow. Farida Youssef, newly entered into the game, gets upended on that play. And all the credit in the world to her. Not trying to sell it still. Back to her feet, ready to get going again, and now Grand Blanc. Grand Blanc's got to figure out who they're going to substitute in goal. Allison Bumstead, the junior, to take over in net. Of course, nothing intentional on that play. Good sportsmanship afterwards from Bilby. Realized what she had done, quickly made her way off. Just trying to make a play on the ball, just got there a split second late. Now Athens can double up on their lead nearly 20 minutes into the second half. On the toe of Waldron. Towards that far post. Tried to bend it. Upper 90. But didn't get enough backspin on it. Goes out of bounds. Grand Blanc with possession back. Almost 20 minutes. Half number 2. Here comes Bilby. Great work by Allison Bumstead. Watch that one go high and wide. Gives an opportunity for Bilby here. Troy Athens trying to test her right away as this one trickles out of bounds. Throwing up coming for the Redhawks. feel like we should get that guy in a headset. He seems to know a thing or two. Athens with possession at their own 10. Nearly halfway through the second half, still just the one goal separating us. Lauren Harper off the feed from Emily Mendrick in half number 1. The Red Hawks win back possession yet again here, and they'll throw it in. Just over 20 minutes in now. On the beautiful campus, Troy Athens High School here on the football field, starting to get dark out. Lights are on here at Athens High School. Baseball field just off in the distance. Tachi with room. Plays one atop the 18, and Bilby, few hesitations before getting on top of that one. Who will win the race? Hart seals it off. Excellent play defensively. Allows Bilby to get there. It's become clear to us in watching them play here today exactly what her role is, and that's saving goals. Or helping her goalie save goals, that is. She's done that a few times. Into the corner it goes. Not quick enough to get there that time is Haley Heiss. It'll be back in the possession of Miller to send it away with about 18 minutes to play. Got to remind you guys, coming up on Sunday, we have a ranking show here on the Michigan Soccer Network. Every Sunday night, we go through all the different rankings as well as where the different teams fall, where they drop to, where they rise to. Divisions 4 through 1 here on the Michigan Soccer Network, and then coverage on our morning show, Inside the Game, as a foul's committed just outside the 25. Grand Blanc set it right inside of the 30 with another set piece. Lauren Lynch lifts it towards net. Miller off the crossbar. It squirts out. Weston as they try to center it. Ball still there. Finally, Coriel, or rather DeYonker, sending it away with the left as it's out of bounds. That close on the attempt. Miller getting a little help from the goaltender's best friend. Trying to go to that one, and Miller gets her paws on it. For Grand Blanc, things don't get any easier from this point. Midland Dow immediately after this one. Then they'll participate in the Petoskey Invitational against Petoskey High School. They'll also play Lake Orion in Petoskey, then Clarkston, and then 3 home games to finish it off. Bay City Western, Mattawan, and Flint Powers Catholic. But the 2 top teams in the Saginaw Valley Conference, the next 2 teams on their schedule. So you want to talk about a gauntlet. Face Athens, then you immediately have to face number 1 and number 2 accordingly. This one dribbles its way into the hands of Bilby, and she'll get ready to send it away. That clock now starting to work against the Bobcats a little bit. Just 15 minutes remaining. Tachi. A touch. Athens retreats. Playing it near side. And a ball that's bent in. Perfect spot. Saved by Bilby. Ball still loose. And it's turned away. Farida Youssef. After getting taken out by Bilby the last time around, nearly put that one in off a perfect ball into the 18. Bilby a better save though. Throw in near side as we've officially crossed 15 minutes to play in this one. Inside at 14 now, 13:55. Grand Blanc maybe starting to sense the clock, not on their side. Emily Mendrick nearly put that one in a perfect spot to get her second assist of the game. But give credit where it's due. Grand Blanc has bent, but they haven't broken. Just the one time. Athens still trying to find the dagger. Sophie Hart barreling through defenders. Try to play it up the middle of the field, and they might have something here. Clear run for Dub, and it's saved. Turned away by Miller. Emily Dub with a run towards net.
Substitution for the Bobcats.
Couldn't put it
is number
through.
21, Ava Baldiga.
Baldiga into the game. And a corner kick upcoming here. Grand Blanc holds a comfortable edge in corners. Can they find a way to execute on one? Towards the middle. And an offside's called. A turnover off the goal kick. Set piece for the Bobcats here at the 30. Blake will stand back over it again. Powerful boot. Far post. Ooh, and a one-time opportunity. Just missed. Anna Weston, as she oftentimes always is, right there, but just wide of her foot, not out of bounds. And Miller, seeing this game encroaching on the final 10 minutes, will take her time. Gets through. Tachi scores! And the Red Hawks soar to the 2-0 lead as Tachi might have just put in the dagger. Broke free along the near side. It makes it a 2-0 game here for Athens, just outside of 10 minutes to play. On a game where Athens has just simply been opportunistic. Lulu Thachi on that last goal. And again, their passing and their ability to run on has been elite here tonight. Unbelievable touch on the ball. Familiar with playing on this field, and you can tell just how well that's worked out for them. By the way, Waldron on the assist on that last goal. Again in towards the box. Bilby has to go down to a knee to field it. But the nonverbal communication, the way they move the ball here tonight has been elite for Athens. Graham Blank looking to get something off a turnover, but not enough on it. That time for Anna Weston, it's Miller with another save. And I know I talked in length about how good Miller has been for Athens this year, but frankly, haven't needed her as much tonight. In certain stretches, yes. Did make a save a little bit earlier to keep it a 1-0 lead, but Athens really forcing Graham Blank into multiple situations where they've had to kind of sell out in certain spots. They do get a set piece here at the 30 again, not over by any stretch. Still got about 8 minutes to go before this one comes to a close. Lauren Lynch lifts it over that far post and out of bounds.
Now on the field for the Bobcats, number 8, Daisy Huff. And for the Redhawks, number 20,
We
Lily
got
Timoteo, and
some
number
dark
23,
clouds
Lily
moving in here in Troy, Michigan. I guess it is worth taking a look at what we got going on weather-wise. Again, worked around some of the heavy stuff. Definitely looks like there's some stuff that's heading through. I don't know if that's still on its way or if that's officially passed, but whatever it is, it came through. So you were talking about that wind a little bit earlier, definitely blistering around. Corner kick cup coming here for Graham Blank. Angled towards the top of the box, taken away. Charlotte Cotta. Offside's called. I'm going to give a shout out to everybody working on the broadcast here tonight, though, on MSN. My personal producer that working with here tonight, back on the 1s and 2s, Justin in the studios. Shelby Township, Michigan. Shout out to him. My name, Nate Wangler. Our very own Director of Broadcasting, Jonathan Turner, in attendance at this game as we approach 5 minutes left to go. Athens probably try to play a little bit of keep away at this point. Miller will just pass it around here in the back defensive end. All of our camera operators, everyone who makes this broadcast possible, and of course you guys for stopping by. Ooh. Heads up. Charlotte Cotta. She's got one off the side of the head. She's still going though. Emily Mendrick weaving her way through the heart of the defense, but taken away here by the Bobcats as we are officially inside. 5 minutes to go. Emily Mendrick, who got the party started for Athens back in that first half. A glorious assist to Lauren Harper. Wouldn't say it opened the floodgates, but certainly got them moving in the right direction. Bobcats been unable to respond through the first 75. Emily Dubb was denied earlier. She plays this one off the left. Approaching the final 3. Charlotte Cotta saw take that shot a little bit earlier. Trying to fight back possession. Athens, despite being up 2 here late in this game, not satisfied with playing a little keep away. They're still trying to force the ball up the field here. Grand Blanc sees that clock working against them. Outside of a 0-0 draw against Midland, as well as Clarkston. Happened last year. They draw with Milford 0-0. They have not been shut out this season. It's been a long time since they haven't scored a goal, back on April the 12th against that Milford team. Again, they've been on a roll ever since. But seeing that perfect streak hanging in the balance as we get to the 2-minute warning. Some fancy work there from Emily Mendrick. Trying to play it while on her backside, and it didn't end up working out, but Miller collects it anyways. Well, after what I'm sure what felt like an empty feeling their last time out, felt like they left something on the table in that 2-2 tie. Athens will just play out the final minute 30. Put a bow on this win. They're still trying to put a few through. Out of bounds, it'll be with the Redhawks. Again, gave you a look at that upcoming slate for them. Spring Lake, Traverse City West, couple of winnable games on the road in TC. Both of them on the 3rd and then on the 6th against Troy, and then senior night against Clarkston before a few on the road. Adams and Royal Oak. As they try to climb back to the top of the OAA Red, and if not, maybe win their first state title since 2000. They've been there, but nobody likes to finish second. into our final 60. And after a much anticipated game, all of us were wondering what way it might go. Athens proves they belong in the top 10. 2-0 shutout win for the Red Hawks. They take down Grand Blanc in this one. Kata Tostic, as well as Lauren Harper with the 2 goals in this game. Abby Waldron and Emily Mendrick adding the 2 assists. Another shutout victory for Troy Athens as they get their get back.
Create your own personalized
2-0
courses,
victory.
share drill.
That'll wrap it up here from Troy Athens High School, our final 2-0. Big thank you to everybody joining us here on the Michigan Soccer Network, and until next time.